Hi everyone, my name is Deepthi. Welcome to Learn English with Deepthi. Today let's take a look at idioms. An idiom is an expression or a phrase whose meaning is very different from the collective meaning of the words in that phrase. So this makes idioms very confusing for a lot of people who are learning English. Today let's take a look at some funny, crazy idioms in English. The first one is bite the bullet. What do you think that means? Nobody's taking a bullet and putting in their mouth and biting it, right? That would be a strange thing to do. So what does that mean when somebody says biting the bullet? So the meaning of this idiom is when somebody does something that they really do not want to do, right? Somebody does not want to do something but they are forcing themselves to do it. Then they say, I'm biting the bullet and doing this. Let's see a few examples of how we use this in a sentence. I can't deal with my boss anymore, so I'm going to bite the bullet and quit my job. So this means that this person really does not want to quit their job, but dealing with their boss has become so difficult that they are going to do this thing that they really don't want to do because they don't have any other way, right? They're biting the bullet. Another example is, you should bite the bullet and go to the dentist before your toothache becomes too bad. So here we're implying that this person hates going to the dentist, or they dread going to the dentist, but they have a toothache. They have to go. They have to do this thing that they don't want to do. They are forcing themselves to do it. The next one is rain cats and dogs. That sounds very strange, doesn't it? Cats and dogs are not going to come fall from the sky, right? That would be very weird. So what does that mean? This idiom just means that it is raining very heavily, right? It's very simple, raining heavily, but we say it's raining cats and dogs. So here are a few examples. We can't have the picnic today because it's raining cats and dogs. It just means that it's raining heavily today, so we cannot have the picnic. But it's more fun to say raining cats and dogs than to just say raining heavily, right? So try to use these into your everyday conversations as much as you can. That's what idioms are fun about. Another example of raining cats and dogs is, it's been raining cats and dogs all day. Means there's been heavy rain going on throughout the day. The next idiom is kick the bucket. This does not mean to kick a bucket, it means to die. Some people say that the origin of it is because people committing suicide usually stand on top of a bucket. And then they put the noose on their neck and then they kick the bucket away to kill themselves. See, it's an interesting fact. I'm not sure if it's correct or not, if that's the origin of it. Have you heard of the movie The Bucket List? This came out a few years ago, starring Morgan Freeman. In this movie, a few old men go on a trip to do some things that they all want to do before they die. That's what a bucket list is. A bucket list is a list of things that you want to do before you die or kick the bucket. So let's take a look at a few examples of how to use kick the bucket in a sentence. Will you marry someone else after I kick the bucket? The husband or wife could be asking the other person, once I pass away, are you going to marry someone else or not? Another one is, since you love my necklace so much, you can have it after I kick the bucket. That means after I die, you can have my necklace because you love it so much, right? But kick the bucket. It's an interesting, very interesting idiom. The next one is bull in a china shop. What does that mean? Imagine the bulls that you see doing bullfighting and all. Wild, crazy, right? let's think about what it would be like if we let them loose in a china shop where there are a lot of expensive and very delicate pieces. There will be so much damage, right? So that's the meaning of bull in a china shop. It means like a person who is very clumsy, who is constantly breaking stuff, usually unintentionally. They don't mean to cause damage, but they are so clumsy that wherever they go, there will be damage. This also has another meaning, which is someone who is not very tactful in a delicate situation. Like someone who just attacks when something has to be done in a soft way. That's also called bull in a china shop. So let's take a look at how we use that in a sentence. Dennis the Menace ran into the house like a bull in a china shop as soon as Mr. Wilson opened the door. Dennis the Menace, as you know, is the epitome of what we call a bull in a china shop. This kid doesn't mean to cause any damage, but he's so clumsy and he always ends up causing damage. That's why Mr. Wilson, his neighbor, never lets him come to his house and is always pushing away. Get out of here, Dennis. Right? So that's basically what we're talking. Here's another example. The management's lawyer went into the meeting with the workers' union like a bull in a china shop, and now any hope of a reconciliation is gone. So this sentence means that the lawyer just went on an attack when he should have used a more softer tone with the workers' union so that some sort of reconciliation could have been reached instead of going on the attack. That's what it means. I hope this video has helped you understand some of these idioms. The best way to learn idioms is to just memorize them and try to use them and work it into your conversation any chance you get. Using idioms in your conversation makes you sound more like a native speaker, you're more comfortable with the language. If you found this video useful, please like it, please share it on your social media and subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching.